issue which has to do with the bondholders and what have you, salary, especially, placards that I saw from the judicial service, we were talking about salary increments. Then to the informal sector, we were talking about skyrocketed taxes. They were talking about inflation, and then a whole number of issues, especially those coming from the Swami Magazine industrial cluster. They were much concerned about the fact that, there has been some skyrocketing import duties, and that is even making their work, or their business very difficult one, especially operating in the current, business environment. So they want something to be done. Of course, when the minister had the opportunity to address the workers, he told them that the president or the government and the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is doing everything possible to fix the economy. Asking them to just have patience, also have total confidence in the president. Of course, he also made mention that the government hasn't deviated from the very promises that he made to the people of the Ashanti region. And then having the Ashanti region as the holding base, which the ruling political party, that is the NPP, has 8%. So it's in a nutshell, it was a chorus of public indignation. But in the midst of that, there was some level of assurances from the minister, the Ashanti regional minister, who represented the president, Martin.
Right, and how different has this year's Labor Day celebrations been from previous years? Beyond the promises and the assurances from government side, has there been any new thing that you've observed?
Well, it was telling, from the faces of the people that all is not well, especially the current, economic outlook. People this time around were not talking about achievement of the government, unlike last year when people were so much engrossed in the fact that the Free Senior High School has done a lot in, easing some level of economic burden. But this time around, it wasn't a reflective of that. They were more concerned about the fact that they are not recording high dividends as far as their business transaction is concerned. Right. Of course, they were also talking about, which I've mentioned earlier, high taxes. The dollar, the city, which is not doing very well.
Right.
Those few people who represented the transportation sector also talking about fuel and what have you. So it wasn't as it used to be. If you're talking about the story that we heard from the people, it wasn't as it used to be a year or 2 years back.
Okay. Thank you very much, William Evans Inkum. I'm sure by close of day we'll get a more conclusive sense of what the workers there in the Ashanti region are saying. We're staying on issues of Labor Day, this time around shifting from the Ashanti region back to Bolgatanga, where organized labor is proposing the need for government to improve on pension benefits for retirees. At this year's May Day celebration, Labour says government should also ensure salaries are adjusted to meet the demands of workers.
Currently, on the single spine salary structure, some workers are receiving less than 1,000 Ghana cedis, while others are also receiving up to 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. Out of this, 18% is to be deducted from their Senate and second-tier contributions. On Senate, 13% to be contributed, while 5% to be made available for the second-tier scheme. Despite that, Labour still complains that pension benefits are still low, resulting in deaths of some retirees. At this year's May Day celebrations, organized Labour is calling on government to adjust salaries of workers. It has again asked government to roll out policies that will reduce the cost of living on workers. At the ongoing May Day celebrations, organized Labour has called for the need for members to help protect pensions and incomes.
And those who are in this conspiracy should take note that we will not sit by to let it happen, because this is a workers' act. And when this happens, that means all monies that are of the schemes will be returned to SNIT. and that will make it easy for whoever wants to do anything to pick their funds. And we are not going to allow it to happen.
We are told that the taxes will take effect from today, and as it's going to bring more hardship to us, we are not going to have our salaries paid to us, the new salaries being paid to us, and judicial service staff workers are not happy about it. So we're calling on His Excellency, President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to please approve and pay our new salaries to us.
And we are staying on issues regarding labor. The Civil and Local Government Staff Association has called on SSNIT to transfer all past credits of public sector employees to their recognized and registered schemes. At a news conference to mark this year's May Day celebration, CLOGSAG says it will drag SSNIT to the National Labour Commission if it fails to comply.
CLOGSAG recalled its engagement with SSNIT to transfer its past credit to the registered schemes of the labor unions. However, SSNIT insisted transferring the past credit could collapse the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. To mark this year's May Day celebrations, CLOGSAG has repeated its position for SSNIT to transfer its past credit to the registered schemes. The Deputy Executive Secretary of CLOGSAG, Kwame Krakani, said CLOGSAG will not hesitate to drag SSNIT to the National Labour Commission. He called on government to consider the T.A. Bediako's committee report on the need for governments to improve the pension benefits of retirees.
Where the country has been thrown into a crisis to the extent that pension arrangements are being threatened, even though the contributory 3-tier pension scheme has begun to yield positive results, it is very relevant and significant to maintain the existing pension structure. CLOGSAG is sending a warning signal to all forces, both visible and invisible, to steer clear of current pension arrangements as enshrined in the National Pension Act 2008 Act 766. He who has ears, let him hear this message.
And definitely that's a message directly at government and other labor unions. So Joshua Ansah is Deputy Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress. He's joined us via phone for a quick conversation on this very important day. Mr. Ansah, very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Very good afternoon, sir.
To start with, happy May Day to you. What are your immediate thoughts on the President's response to the many labor issues that have come up in the last or the year under review, where he's promising to protect pensions, like your theme says, and making sure that all of persons who require their pensions are given or it's paid on time?
Thank you very much, my brother, and good afternoon to our cherished listeners, and happy May Day to all hardworking workers of this very country. I think that the Secretary General's speech was patient and straightforward to the point. And the President, in reacting to the speech, he has once again promised to protect workers' incomes and pensions. These are some of the promises that was given year by year on, and workers are on other ways seeing something different. But I believe that this time around, we want to believe that because of the way the speech worked by the Secretary General, maybe the President will this time around will be serious and will what he's saying to workers of this very. I believe that would test to what is happening to our pensions and the debt in respect to the debt collection program that is happening currently in the country. So once he has opened his mouth again to say that he has actually on 23rd of December was party to the exemption of our pension funds for DDE, we think that he will not turn around to do a different thing altogether. So today's speech by the President, I think it's encouraging, but how it's going to be practical, that is what we are all waiting for. We think that he has said it, but we pray that what he has said will come to fruition.
Right. Like you mentioned, the President touched on many other issues, including the current state of the Ghanaian economy. And as it stands now, we cannot kid ourselves. It is a chicken and egg situation. Labour's role in getting the economy back on track is very crucial. And the President, again, admonished yourself and your colleagues and the entire labour unions in Ghana to help government help the country. What's your current position on efforts by Labour in ensuring that the country is back on the sound footing?
Thank you very much, my brother. I think that workers of this country need a very big commendation, because I think that since the day of Adam, Ghanaian workers have sacrificed a lot to put back this country on its right track. But what we see, day in, day out, taxes are collected, day in, day out, we hear about development projects, governmental projects, day in, day out, we hear projects that are stalled. Who are the causes of all this? Workers are prepared to work from their heart, but workers must also be taking, our welfare must also be taken into consideration. When government expects that workers will help the government to improve this country or to bring this country out of the economic woes, we believe that the empty stomach cannot work, empty sack cannot stand. Government must be serious in taking workers' welfare into seriously, so that workers' rights cannot be trampled upon by these foreign companies who are now doing that. We also want to say that we are always ready to work with government. We are always ready to do what is expected of us, but we also expect a reciprocal improvement in what government has been giving us, my brother. So we think that when we all work assiduously and when we work in truth, when we all work in fairness, I think we can achieve whatever we want. As for Ghanaian workers, once again, I want to say that we are ever prepared, and we are, as we've been doing always, we will sacrifice, but let us also be rewarded from our sweat.
Right. Thank you. Just before you go, you touched on something very important having to do with the fact that Labour is always doing its part, but very little is seen from the part of government to help Labour. There are already ideas of forming a Labour party, just like we have in the UK. Is that an idea you will push for or you will support?
My brother, thank you very much. You see that because NPP and NDC are the only major parties in this very country, all the rest, I don't know what is happening to them, because assuming you have a third force, I think that when you are in power, you will be very careful about the way you manage this economy, because you know that definitely if you don't perform, you'll be out you'll be shown the exit by voting out. But what is it? MDC goes, NPP come. NPP goes, NDC come. So I think that it is time for us to judge our government by what they do, how best they have performed in this very economy, how best they have brought life back to the citizens of this very country.
Okay.
So this time, like I said the other time, I still want to reiterate that before we go to the poll to vote, we will have a social contract with any candidate who want to become a president. So that at the moment, if you win and come to power, you will demand accountability as to whatever you promise to do for workers and for citizens of this very country.
Okay.
And so that we are also considering that there should be a force that can put both NPP and NDC to do what is right and what is expected of them as a government in the country.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua Ansah, Deputy Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress. We're staying on labor issues because certainly today is their day, and the General Secretary of the Medical Laboratory Professional Workers Union, that's Cephas Kofi Akoto, has hinted of a nationwide strike if government does not meet their condition of service by the 15th of May 2023. He spoke exclusively to our Upper East Regional Correspondent Tanko Mohamed Rabiu at this year's National Labour Day celebration currently ongoing in Bolgatanga.
Expecting the president on this platform to tell us the prospects he has for the medical lab industry. Whether we have demanded for national health laboratory policy over the years. This policy has been developed in 2013 and it has been signed by the Honorable Minister of Health. We don't know what is holding onto the implementation of this policy. It will be a good news for us to hear the president announce here that there has been a consideration towards the implementation of what? The laboratory policy. 50 years without conditions of service. We are not prepared to continue working this way without a condition of service in place for us. So this one is a strong message from us to the employer and the president of this country, that he should give attention to our request to grant us a condition of service. It is a primary or basic requirement for every employee to have condition of course. We have done several follow-ups, several letters, to the extent of even reporting to the National Labour Commission. Our proposals are still waiting. We don't know what the employer is trying to tell us, whether we are not important or not. If indeed we are not important, we will show to the world that we are actually important, and we can never be ignored. Are over 5,000 employed currently. And I tell you, we are even over 15,000 in this country. But when you go to the laboratory, what the employer has been doing is to engage people as IGF, people as casual staff. They will work over several years and go on retirement without pensions. Is it not a cheat? The law says equal pay for equal work done. So how can I have the same qualification with somebody and be paid the commensurate rate I'm supposed to be given, yet my colleague with that qualification will be employed as an IGF staff and be paid little?
All right, staying on labor conversations. Being a midwife in rural communities in Ghana comes with its own challenges, spanning from lack of access to basic social amenities to the workload on one person. Even more challenging is when the person is a male midwife in a society that values the privacy of women.
Beautiful, good, jump.
A midwife is a health professional who has undergone the necessary training to provide women with support and care during pregnancy, labor, and birth. Midwives help women to stay healthy in the period of their pregnancy. In 2013, the training of midwives in Ghana through a pilot program in selected midwifery training colleges by the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service was scaled up to include males. This was to ensure that women have access to reproductive services. 34-year-old Kutop Justice Kujo is one of the beneficiaries of this program. Having completed his professional midwifery training, he has been working as a staff midwife at the Salaga Government Hospital. Justice is one of 3 male midwives serving in the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region. Like any other midwife, Justice runs the morning, afternoon, and night shifts. I have come to the home of Justice, who was on night shift and was already preparing for work. In less than 20 minutes, Justice arrived at the facility. He was one of 3 midwives on night duty, and being the first to arrive, Justice took over from those on afternoon shift. 10 women were on admission with 1 labor case. Justice quickly changed into his crafts and immediately started to monitor the labor case since the woman was in her final stage of labor. Soon, labor set in and Justice had to conduct delivery. Good. The baby, a female, was delivered safely by Justice, and the necessary procedures was then done on the baby.
Way back in 2017, I started as a professional staff midwife in Salaga Municipal Hospital.
We think that a Ghanaian worker in a rural area is as well recognized as those in the city?
I think the answer is capital no, because when it comes to recognition, usually it is those in the cities that are being recognized. Meanwhile, those at the grassroots level in the rural areas are being denied that privilege, simply because those that are being asked to come and supervise the work that is being done, they would not like to go to the rural areas to identify such personalities that are committing themselves to do the work that the government is asking them to do, or the God is asking them to do. But those in the city that are being organized. And when it comes to salary, those are the rural areas and then in the city, we are all being paid the same salary as a midwife.
Are you motivated enough?
Motivated to work, but not about the salary. motivation to work, because when you conduct the review, I am always delighted to see that the baby is fine, the mother is fine. That is where the joy and the motivation comes from.
Our people thought that once you're a male among here or working in the hospital, they always thought that you're a doctor, and hence they want doctors to attend to them. So because of that, we don't have any issues with them. If the Ministry of Health, as well as Ghana Health Service, can actually bring back the program, the no train midwife, it will help a lot, because some of them are very dedicated, but they are having the passion to work.
For her, more needs to be done for the Ghanaian worker.
The Labour Commission with our leaders have to negotiate better for us as workers. And besides, those days there were some packages like bush allowances, extra duty allowances, which motivated our seniors to put in their best. But those incentives have been cancelled.
Christopher Mwako, TV3 News, Salaga.
Once again, happy May Day to all workers. Away from labor issues, let's do politics now. The NDC's 2024 flag bearer hopeful, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, has taken a dig at his main contender, former President John Dramani Mahama, questioning his credentials to properly manage the Ghanaian economy. Dr. Duffuor believes that the economic record of the John Mahama era pales into insignificance when compared with the period that he, Dr. Duffuor, served as finance minister between 2009 and 2013. Dr. Duffuor, who has also been speaking exclusively to TV3 and 3FM, has also dismissed the assertions that he is too old to run for president or flag bearer of the NDC. He has also been touring some parts of the country, garnering support from the base or the grassroots of the NDC in anticipation of the May 13 primaries that will be run by the NDC, where he is likely to go up against 3 other candidates: himself, former President John Dramani Mahama, Kojo Bonsu, and then one other person who has actually decided not to run again. So we're going to be here at your election command center looking exactly at how all of these are going to be playing out. People definitely are going to be starting the mudslinging internally within the camp of the NDC before whoever emerges winner would then face off with the NPP's flag bearer hopeful, whom we are also unsure of whether it's going to be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or Alan Kyeremanteng, but certainly it's going to be between the two of them. So when we return from this quick break, we'll bring you what Dr. Kwabena Duffuor has been saying as regards former President John Dramani Mahama's era as president. Stay with us. You're still watching Midday Live, the May Day edition. We have more for you after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Open your eyes. People fall and they rise. Make you no worry about the things you know we change. The
Lagos Girls Got Talent. You too can change your world, and it's affordable with Airtel Tigo data bundles. Bring your dreams to life with the best data bundles only on Airtel Tigo. Dial *111# now.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
It's time to kill it! Follow freedom fighter! Papa kill it!
Mosquitoes, cockroaches, and flying insects. Today marks the new dawn to freedom. Ghana Labour Force. Let's all rally together to kill mosquitoes, cockroaches, and flying insects for good. Be free, like Prophet Divine.
I too was afflicted with mosquitoes.
No. Please. No, don't go. Wait.
Papa, kill it, Winnie.
Kill it. Todiekum.
Kill it at the romantic and Tuntum. I am delivered.
Mosquitoes, cockroaches, and flying insects.
Hello. Oh, Miba. Ejuma way there and never Papa kill it.
Kill it. Todiekum. Leave room for 15 minutes after spraying and allow adequate ventilation. FDA actually
no matter where.
The capital is always tuned in. In their offices.
You have played PSC before, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. In their retail centers.
Even in their busy marketplaces.
Oh, should be that some kind of like what? And in their cars.
Even in their homes and in their rooms, they listen. The capital is always tuned in.
Yes, we run the city here on 3FM 92.7.
Your Urban Lifestyle Radio.
Join Giovanni and AJ Sapon on 3FM Drive 92.7 Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. We run the city on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio station.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Apiampofo, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
Welcome back to Midday Live on TV3, the Mayday edition, and we are sticking on issues regarding politics because the NDC's 2024 flag bearer hopeful Dr. Kwabena Dufo has taken a dig at his main contender, former President John Dramani Mahama, questioning his credentials to properly manage the Ghanaian economy. Dr. Dufour believes that the economic record of John Mahama in his era pales into insignificance when compared with the period when he, Dr. Dufour, served as finance minister between 2009 and 2013.
To those who say that your decision to contest John Mahama expresses a vote of no confidence in his ability to run the economy.
I'm not saying so. The records are there. You are Ghanaian. Look at the records from 2009 to 2016. Don't you have the figures? The figures speak for themselves, not me. Do you understand? I cannot pass a vote of no confidence in him. The figures will speak for themselves.
The figures we know were terrible.
So what are you asking me? The figures were terrible. Then the figures are telling you that there was a failure somewhere. Should I talk about that?
We ran the twin deficits in 2013 after the 2012 elections.
Mm-hmm.
We saw inflation spiral. We went through the doomsday period, which obviously may not have been his fault, but he managed to resolve it before going out of power.
I'm talking about the figures on the ground. I'm not talking about his personality. Who was in charge? If you're happy with the figures, then you ask, oh, who was in charge? Oh, he did a good job. If the figures are so bad, who was in charge?
Do you think he did a good job as president?
Look at the figures yourself.
Do you think he did a good job as president?
Look at the figures and speak to the figures.
So I look at the figures and they do not look too impressive.
So why do you ask me that question?
So in your view, did he impress you as president?
Are you happy with the figures yourself?
They don't look good on paper.
So why ask me that question?
One of the other contestants, it's Kojo Bonsu,
Yes.
mayor of Kumasi.
Yes.
He also wants to stand against John Mahama.
He wants to, not he also.
He wants to.
English language is a very difficult thing. He also.
I retract that. He
Yes.
wants to contest
Yes.
against John Mahama.
Yeah.
Why don't you all just throw your weight behind him?
Why? How many people are contested in the NPP? How many people? How many?
Well, currently...
And how many people contested in the NDC flag race contest in 2018, 2019? How many? Were not here in the country? How many?
How do you respond to those who
No.
say
How many?
age may not be on your side?
No. How many? I'll be asking for a medical report, yours or mine, for you to tell me who is healthier. That's right. Understand?
You mean you're very fit?
Bring your medical report, let you bring mine.
You mean me?
Yes, even you. Even you. Even you. Let them bring your medical report, let them bring mine, and let doctors comment who's healthier.
You can go the full haul, 8 years of presidency, and you will turn things around.
Do you read the Bible?
I do read the Bible.
Do. When God, if you believe in the Bible, when God decided to rescue the Hebrews from Egypt, he did not pick somebody like you. He took an 80-year-old person, knowing that they were going to walk on the desert for 40 years. There were younger people like you. Why did God not choose one of them, but went outside? Moses, who had run away and was staying outside, he brought him back at 80 years to lead the people. Why did it pick someone like you?
The popular view out there when you talk to the African youth on the street is that we've for long mortgaged our future, to older politicians who have not served as well. The Nigerians will tell you about Buhari. The Ghanaians today will tell you about Nana Akufo-Addo and the fact that he's not... You've seen the latest EIU report, for instance.
No. You see, people should do proper analysis. Professor Mills left office. He died when he was about 69. Do you know that? His deputy, vice, was His Excellency John Mahama. He was about 52. 69, 52. Look at the performance of the two people, John Mahama and Professor Mills. It's not age.
What is your verdict
but
then?
Competence and integrity.
What is your verdict then?
My verdict? The figures are there for you to speak on.
You're saying that we should compare John Mahama's 4 years to Atta Mills's 4 years
so.
And compare their ages?
You are talking about age. I'm saying that it's not the age that matters in governance and management. It's the character and experience. You understand? You may be 90, but you don't have the character.
In other news this afternoon, the Ghana Revenue Authority will implement the new and revised taxes which were introduced in the 2023 budget today, the 1st of May. According to the Ghana Revenue Authority, businesses have had sufficient time to configure their system for the taxes since the laws were passed. The new and revised taxes include the Excise Amendment Tax 2023, the Income Tax Amendment Act 2023, and the Growth and Sustainability Levy Act 2023. The Excise Duty Amendment Act has been expanded to cover some items and commodities that were previously not captured. This may result in increased prices for processed fruit juices, cigarette, mineral water, or pure water as you call it, spirits, wines, and sparkling wine. There are several other ones that are very likely to also be affected or impacted by these new taxes that kick in effective immediately. So let's find out from the Vice Chair of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Clement Boateng, who is the first Vice Chair. He's joined us via phone for a quick conversation. Mr. Boateng, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us and happy May Day to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Martin. Thank you for having me.
We are told that already your systems have been configured to start the new taxes that are taking effect from today. What's your immediate thoughts on the fact that, I mean, something you spoke against and were asking for the president not to assent to it is actually taking effect right before our eyes?
Yes, it's very unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation because, like we rightly said, right from the day that this bill were laid before Parliament, the business community tried as much as possible, to approach Parliament not to pass this bill. But what did we see? It now belongs to history. The bill has been passed, and also after the bill were passed, we also petitioned the president not to assent to it. The president has also assented to it, and like we all know, its implementation starts right from today. So what we should all know that the complaints that we've been making as a result of the high cost of doing business, we still find ourselves in that situation, and it is going to be even being compounded now that these bills have been assented to by the president. But like you said, regarding the configuration of the systems, this has to do with the big supermarkets, since their systems are linked to that of GRA. GRA have to give them some little time in order for them to be able to configure their system to be linked with GRA. But when it comes to SMEs, like where we find ourselves, we don't have any system of that nature, but we just have to, adjust, our prices. It's naturally, once, you incur any cost as a result of this passage of these bills, it is going to compound. Yes, it is going to compound the situation. So it's natural that we also have to, do something just to, correspond and then take care of whatever cost that we are going to incur again.
And Mr. Boateng, briefly, so it means that from today going, tomorrow when you actually come back from the holidays, everything is going to be back as normal. Your prices would also have to be readjusted to reflect the new taxes, isn't it? And then you're not going to be raising any other, counter allegations or accusations against the state. Is that it?
No. What we are doing is to we are still pushing for engagement with the government because we have profiled some solutions that we think if government goes in that direction, like the passage of this new bill wouldn't have been necessary. So we are still pushing for that engagement, and we hope that before government comes out with a mid-year budget review, I think governments will consider the solutions that we have offered, so that if there will be the need, to revise this act, the government will have to do that.
All right. Thank you so much, Clement Boateng, for your time. He is the first vice chair of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA. You're still watching Midday Live on TV3. We have sports, entertainment, all lined up for you. Stay with us.
When it comes to the world of sports, what does complete mean to you?
When my team scores at the end of a 30-plus passing sequence, just like Pep Guardiola style.
When someone beats the buzzer with a shot from the logo, like Steph Curry.
Dominating opponents and punching my way to a knockout, like Africa's greatest boxer, Azuma Nelson.
Running so fast I can afford to celebrate midway through a 100-meter race and smash the world record like Usain Bolt.
Hold up. What makes all of these sports complete is the screen. This is where you get access to all the extensive highlights, analysis, and insights.
So do join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. live on 3FM 92.7 as we serve you the best sports buffet and most satisfying in the sports world. The 3 Sports team will come together to review, preview, and analyze the latest in the sports world here on Sports Ultras.
Last year was massive. This year, it will be the bomb. Tour du Ghana, the ultimate cycling event in the sports calendar, happening on the 20th and 21st of May 2023. Confirm your participation. Registration fee is 200 Ghana cedis for single riders, while 100 Ghana cedis goes for clubs with 10 riders or more. Your registration comes with personal accident cover, accommodation, feeding, and transportation. Start point of the tour is from the West Hills Mall, SCC to the Takrady Mall, and from Takrady to the Cape Coast Chapel Square. For more details, contact 0244-893758 or 0546 063 747. Tour du Ghana, happening on the 20th and 21st of May 2023. Be part of the excitement.
3FM Tour du Ghana is brought to you by Super Yogo.
When the sun rises, there is hope. While this hope lingers on, the citizens look up to the government, the economy, the national development agenda, and everything in between.
On Ghana Tonight, it's our utmost priority to bring you insightful conversations on the economy, break down the biggest issues while setting the agenda for transformation and national development. The big and important stories are treated from the human interest angle, while the facts and the figures are painted with precision. So now, let's cut the convention and start the conversation here on Ghana Tonight. I am your host, Alfred Okamsi.
Ghana Tonight shows Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. on TV3.
Welcome back to Midday Live on TV3. So from me, Surgeon Martin Esiedu, I'm handing over to Fireman and our in-studio firefighter, Oreko Ampopo, who is joining us for the latest in the world of sports. Oreko, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon. Thankfully, there's there's no fire to quench. So
more fire to quench.
But we're ready and on standby.
Okay. Give us what's happening in sports.
So we started off with the Ghana Premier League, where Pando Heart of Lions have gained promotion to the 2023-2024 Premier League with 6 matches to spare. They are making a return to Ghana's top flight after an 8-year spell in the second-tier competition following their relegation in the 2015 season. Now, Heart of Lions' promotion is confirmed with 56 points from 24 games after the last 2 sides in 3rd and 4th in the Ghana Division 1 League Zone 3 both lost their matchday fixtures ahead of Lions' game against Golden Kick on Monday. Well, one of the teams that Kwando Hearts of Lions could be replacing next season is Tamale City. But they did put up a fight yesterday when they held Kumasi Asante Kotoko to a 1-1 draw at the Babayara Sports Stadium. Let's check highlights of the game.
He went for the man and not the ball. Jamuna! What a goal! That's an absolute beauty! Glorious finish from Rocky Jamuna. Goodness me! That was a thunderbolt. Free kick was quickly taken from Ejapon. Then he found Jamuna, unleashed it, and he beat the goalkeeper completely. Levincius Atta delivers, and the equalizer has arrived for Tamale City. They've equalized. The brilliant connection from Yaya Mohammed. The question is, where was the marking? His third goal of the season. Wonderful cross from Levincius Atta. The leap and the connection. Perfect from Yaya. Joy unlimited.
Well, points drop again for Asante Kotoko. Now back-to-back games without a win for Abdul Ghazel's men, whose title race looks to be fading thinner and thinner. But before we go, let's do some boxing, where the Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation is calling for funding to help train local coaches to advance the sport. An academy in Accra.
The Akotoku Academy is one of the pioneer boxing gyms in Accra. Founded by Atukwe Klote in the early 1970s, the gym was credited for laying the foundation and producing some of Ghana's top and best boxers of all time, like DK Poison, Azuma Nelson, Alfred Cobra Korte, and Ike Bazooka Korte, among others. However, little is being said about the once famous Akotoku Academy. People train at the gym in the open with inadequate training kits. In a bid to help improve the situation, Raj Power Company Limited responded to recent appeals with some training kits. President of the Ghana Boxing Federation, DSI Bernard Korte, expressed concern over the quality of training in the country.
An investment must be channeled to making sure that you have certified coach who understand the game very well. Because we have a whole lot of coaches who have come out and they claim they are coaches, but they're not. That is why of late a lot of boxers go out and they cannot excel. So it is important for us to make sure we get some form of money to be able to train our coaches. Then they can impact what they've learned. It is very important that
here on Midday Live. My name is Oreko Ampofo, and a happy May Day / Labor Day to everyone out there. Go out there, have some fun, enjoy the rest of your day, and in case there's any fire outbreak, you do know who to call. I think up next is entertainment, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so you know who to call when it has to do with issues of fire. Now, let's find out what's happening in the world of entertainment, where fastest rising Afro dancehall sensation DSL says he's warming up to give audiences at the VGMA stage a great experience. The Lynx Entertainment signed artist will perform on the main VGMA Awards night as part of his package for winning the Unsung Act of the Year. Speaking on New Day earlier today, the We Make Nice singer also opened up about a possible collaboration with Chaka.
But winning this means that you're going to perform on the big stage. How prepared are you?
I'm prepared, but I'm still getting prepared because I think this will be a time that
most people will see me at the first time, for the first time. So what do you have to do for them to know that you are also good? You need to prove something. You get me? So I'm prepared, but I'm still getting more prepared because I think as at now, I will be prepared, but if I do more research and learn more stuff, I will do better than how I'm prepared now.
Yeah. Are you nervous?
Yeah. No, I'm not nervous. I always pray to perform to big people and a crowd, numbers of people, and when I see them, I go crazy. That's me. So I don't get nervous when
you rather get fired up when you see
yeah. When I see
I see. What would you say to the other 5 artists who were in the unsung category? I mean, they were all very optimistic that they would be the ones to represent on stage.
Yeah. And I feel their energy too. They know, and I'm saying it here again, that this is not the end of the journey. It's just a category that one person needs to win. And it happened to be me. It could be them also, but this doesn't mean they should stop pushing, you know. They should keep pushing for other categories and stuff.
If you hadn't won, who would they have gone to?
That's what I can't tell because each and every one they put in the work.
Political answer. Take that off and give us who. Honestly, when you look at the talents that was in there.
If it does not him, nobody else.
Are you planning to collaborate with any of them?
Yeah.
If you have to choose one, who would it be?
Don't be doing that. you came from who would win to who
I'm
would
just asking a simple question.
Just a simple question.
Choose. Okay, so I've already had a collaboration with Maya Blue.
Yeah.
I've already had a collaboration with Boy
Jake, yeah.
I've already had a collaboration with Aya Ramsey B.
Okay.
Yet to be released. And
yet to be released.
Yes, so I think Chaka D.
Chaka would be the next one that you would want to work with.
Yeah.
Have you guys initiated the conversation yet?
No, not yet. But we are cool, very, very cool.
I see. But I am.
Time now for international news.
Airstrikes have pounded Sudan's capital despite a truce aimed at allowing civilians to flee. The army said it was attacking the city to flush out its paramilitary rivals, the Rapid Support Forces. The fighting intensified even as the warring sides said they would extend the truce by another 3 days. More than 500 deaths have been reported, with the true number of casualties believed to be much higher. Millions remain trapped in Khartoum. Army Commander General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and RSF Chief General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo are vying for power and disagree in particular about plans to include the RSF into the army.
And that's how we bring the bulletin to an end. Thank you very much for watching. If you visit our website 3news.com, you get many more stories, including those that we brought to you this afternoon. My name is Martin Nasiedudati. Have a good afternoon, and as always, stay positive. Enjoy the rest of the holiday. Bye for now.